last night? The conversation at dinner about the big birthday trip? The one Holly Joe has been talking about for weeks? I guess you also don't remember that I'm picking her up from school and we're going shopping in Billings, staying at the Northern Hotel, making a weekend of it?
Right, he said as it came back to him. Her promised 13th birthday present. She's redecorating her room. Before he'd brought the girl to the ranch, Elaine had done the then 12-year-old Holly Joe's room in pinks. A mistake. She'd hated it even more than the ranch. I'd forgotten it was this weekend. Any idea what she's planning to do with the room? Given the way she dresses, I hate to think what her idea of decorating will be.
She's 13 going on 30. You told her she could do anything she wanted, Elaine reminded him.
I did, didn't I? He nodded, aware that he had no business raising a teenage girl at his age. But years ago he'd promised her mother that if anything happened to her, he would take care of her daughter. Neither thought it would come to that, but after a bout with cancer, Holly Joe's mother had died, and he'd brought the city girl back to the ranch. She hadn't been happy about it any more than his grown children had. Fortunately, Holly Joe had taken to the horses, at first planning to run away once she'd learned to ride. But later, his son Cooper and friend and ranch hand Pickett Hansen had introduced her to trick riding, something even he could see she was excelling in. He hoped her wanting to redecorate her room was an indication that she was here to stay. Elaine looked at the pile of mail he hadn't gotten through.
Is everything all right?
Just got caught up wool gathering, he said, not about to admit that he'd been thinking about Lottie. She was seldom far from his thoughts, but this morning more than ever.
Uh-huh,
Elaine said. Unfortunately, she knew him too well, so she'd probably guessed the path his thoughts had taken. She'd always encouraged him to try to mend his relationship with Lottie. He had tried over the years, but to no avail. If Charlotte Stafford was anything, it was stubborn to a fault. What he hated most was that because of him, his Lottie had become bitter, resentful, and outright vindictive. Not just about him, but his entire family. Recently, his son Cooper had fallen in love and married Lottie's eldest daughter, Tilly, throwing even more fuel on the fire. Still standing in the doorway, Elaine looked worried about leaving him.
If you're sure you'll be all right without us.
I'll be fine. It isn't like I'm here alone. The house was bursting at the seams right now. Cooper and Tilly were living in the huge, sprawling house while their home on the ranch was being finished. His sons Trayton and Duffy and daughter Bailey also lived in the house, though he hardly ever saw them, along with himself, Holly Joe, and Elaine. As his children had grown, he'd added on, giving them all room to grow. The ranch manager had his own place closer to the stables and shop. The half-dozen ranch hands also living on the spread had a series of bunkhouses and cabins even farther from the house.
We'll be back Sunday evening. You can call if you need me, Elaine said.
He would always need her. He'd often gone to her for advice as well as a good chewing out for something he'd done wrong. He loved Elaine in his way, and suspected she did him as well. But for him, there had only been Lottie. There was only one woman he wanted, the one he might never have again. Go, have fun, and do your best to guide her choices, he said. Elaine laughed at that.
Oh, have you met this young woman?
Her expression turned serious again, as if still hesitant about leaving him, before she said,
Okay, see you Sunday then.
Over the years, he'd given Elaine and his family cause for concern, he thought, as he heard her drive away. He'd brought Holly Joe into their home with no real explanation, causing his eldest son, Trayton, to resent the girl, and Bailey to simply ignore her. He'd done so many things wrong in his life, handled things poorly, and continued to make mistakes. Glancing out the window at the beautiful early summer day, he felt a little of his hope slip away as he felt a chill. Like someone was walking across a grave? His second wife, Lulabelle, would have said it was an omen. But then again, if Lulabelle really could see the future like she claimed, then she would have never married.